Hello and welcome to another episode of Death by Bunjie. In this episode of Death by Bunjie, you and I are going to take a look at Kodabow crossbows. A lot of people have commented on Kodabow crossbows and suggested that I should review them, should look at them. They are an alternative to Excalibur if you're looking for a recurve crossbow. Now, a few manufacturers make a recurve crossbow here or there, but Kodabow, very similar to Excalibur, only makes recurve crossbows. Now, the reason that we're looking at this, of course, is because we're looking for a successor to Bunjie. We're looking to replace Bunjie, the 2010 Excalibur Axiom, going into the fall of 2021. That's my goal. That's what I've been doing here on these most recent review videos. Just getting a feel for what's out there. We're not in any rush, are we? We're not in any rush, but I can tell you that I'm getting close to the end of these review-style videos. I've been doing a couple of podcasts here and there on deathbybungie.com. You can check those out, or you can check out those Talking with Bunjie podcasts in your podcast app of choice, and you can see for yourself some of the other additional talk in addition to these videos that Genevieve and I have been having, the discussions we've been having going through this upgrade process. It can be so difficult. I've been really impressed with a number of them. When I started this whole process off, I was thinking 3, go out there and try 3, maybe 4. And now I think I'm up to 5 different crossbow manufacturers that I definitely have to try before I can decide. One of the neat things about Kodabow, to me, as a Pennsylvania guy, a guy who grew up hunting here in Pennsylvania, is that it is, in fact, a Pennsylvania company that puts out this product. These crossbows are sold by a Pennsylvania company. We'll look at their website first, take a little look at this first, and then I actually have a surprise for you in this video, so stay tuned. The website is just the beginning. We're going to go on Kodabow recurve crossbows made in the USA, made in Pennsylvania, and we've got their website, very handy stuff, West Chester, Pennsylvania. I think that's down by Philadelphia. There is Chuck Matasic, and I hope that I have pronounced his name right. There's no guarantees in this business. Names are one of the things that I struggle with here on Death by Bunjie. We see that he is the founder and CEO of Kodabow. Kodabow crossbows built in Pennsylvania using state-of-the-art manufacturing processes and materials. Very good. Chuck Matasic started the company 10 years ago. The philosophy was to avoid the traps and shortcuts that ultimately cheapen many products. Just like you and me, he probably was dissatisfied with certain products and decided to step out there and, unlike me, actually improve some of the products. The objective was to build a finely finished and highly durable sporting arm with solid performance characteristics and high accuracy. High accuracy, yet another kind of accuracy. Each of these crossbow manufacturers uses their own adjectives to describe accuracy. We've noticed that in the other videos, right? When I have looked at Kodabow over the years, I do picture them in my mind as a hunting company, a hunter's company, because they do focus on the animals that they have hunted with their crossbows and their accomplishments. I also note that there's been a long history with Kodabow and African game, big game in Africa. They seem to focus on that and, in fact, name some of their various crossbow models after that big African game. I am a little bit familiar with Kodabow. If you've been following Death by Bunjie for an awful long time, you will know that I have a nephew who actually has a Kodabow crossbow and has hunted with it and went to Maryland with me. The one year when he went to Maryland, he shot a really nice buck, and I came home from that hunt empty-handed. I'm not disappointed or jealous or anything. No, it was a great hunt. It was a great opportunity for me to share the outdoors of Maryland with him. In fact, my nephew Nick was gracious enough to lend me his crossbow to use for demonstration purposes in this video, so I can actually show you his crossbow, the one that he used when we went to Maryland. They are a recurve crossbow. They do have a double limb design, slightly different from the design of Excalibur. In fact, that's one of the things that sort of gives them away, that sort of showcases them as a Kodabow. One thing that's very important to Kodabow is the use of sound dampening equipment. I can tell you, however, that when we were in Maryland, he was probably 150 yards away from me around the corner and on the other side of a hedgerow, and I actually heard him shoot that buck. I could hear it from 150, 200 yards away. So, and I am certain, had I had the opportunity to shoot a deer that year, he would have heard it if he were that far away, because my crossbow is equally loud. One thing you'll also notice on this thing is the front end. It does have a tactical style grip that is adjustable. That's pretty slick. Now, you've heard me talk about that sort of tactical style, how I've kind of wanted something along those lines, or at least have the option of it, because at least it made sense in my head that would be a comfortable way to hold the crossbow. My hands just kind of want to do this, more so than they want to do this, if that makes any sense. Holding this crossbow, that kind of verifies that. I feel comfortable holding this crossbow. The weight does seem to distribute well, although I will say it is a relatively heavy crossbow. This isn't a light piece of equipment. The safety's in a good location. You got a pistol-style grip on the back, and I can remember way back in 2010 holding this crossbow, I appreciated that pistol-style grip a lot more back then. Even back then in 2012, I'd been hunting with my crossbow for a couple of years at that point, but that pistol-style grip really is a comfortable design, and that's why we see all the manufacturers moving in that direction today, of course. That crossbow has a 200-pound draw weight. It has reticles from 20 to 60 yards. What more do you want, right? Sounds very similar to Bunjie. You might also remember my nephew Nick. He's mentioned in my book, The Death by Bunjie Crossbow Story, Confessions of a Crossbow Hunter. It's available on Amazon.com. And he really was instrumental in me getting to become proficient with Bunjie, with a crossbow. I think he mostly hunts with a compound bow, but he does use the Kodabow still to this day somewhat. He has upgraded to an Excalibur. I think it's a 360 takedown model that he uses as well. But he told me this one is still impressive, even by those more modern standards. With all those nice things said about Kodabow and what a great company it is and what an attractive company it is, you may have noticed in the website that they are no longer taking orders. In fact, just this past week, a week ago today that I'm making this video, and the reason I'm making this video probably today, is the fact that they ceased operations. In other words, they're sort of going out of business, right? Now, is that a permanent thing? I don't know. Kodabow was purchased by Ruger back in the mid-2010s, and then somehow they finagled it so that they got the company back and now control the company again. They bought it back from Ruger, basically, or something like that. I don't have any details about that. I will say that the crossbows that they are offering for sale on their website are the same models they were offering 10 years ago. They really haven't updated their models very much over the years, over the past decade. All the other manufacturers have increased speeds. All the other manufacturers have come out with new technologies, and Kodabow has been plugging along with the exact same technology all of this time. At least that's the way it's appeared to me. I haven't followed them really closely, but I have been familiar with them over the past decade, and that's just the way it looks to me. I can say that really Kodabow was never in the running as a potential successor to Bunjie on that limited note, but it is an impressive little crossbow, and not really little, but it is an impressive crossbow. It is a crossbow that really you could hunt with for the rest of your life if you're willing to accept the limitations of that crossbow. I guess my only advice would be now, stock up on strings. Time will tell what the future of Kodabow holds. Time will tell what the successor to Bunjie is, right? What will Bungie's successor be? We're getting very close to finding out. Until that time, all hail Bunjie.